Kia ora, my darling.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We have a very special deep dive for you today. This has been something that Abby and I have been wanting to record since we started doing the podcast together.
Yes.
And now feels like the right time because I feel like it's kind of come to an extreme head, the whole beauty, the whole aging, the whole wellness.
It was a good time.
So I have started writing I've been writing an essay. I thought it was going to be one essay all about age and beauty, like the definitive thing that I thought about age and beauty. And then I'd always tell Abby, like, I can't do it, there's too much. It was overwhelming, there was just way too much. And then I was like, I can kind of do whatever I want, so it's becoming a series split into 4 essays.
It's going to be so good.
It's going to be very good. But we thought if reading is not your jam, or maybe this comes out before the essays have dropped, Abby is going to lead us in a podcast about as many of the facets of the whole age and beauty and health trends, etc., as she can.
This could be a 12-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
But
there is so many facets, but I've made it a bit smaller for you guys.
So if we miss stuff, or we have to do a part 2, or you think we could talk about extra things, message us, or I've probably covered them in the essay series.
Yes, I think you will.
But Abby, let's get into it.
So, at the moment, our algorithms have groups of 10 people doing a frown challenge where no one can frown because they all have Botox. Our movies are filled with actors not being able to emote properly on screen. Movies need emotion. They have straight veneers and no wrinkles, but the movie might be set in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Our friends in real life are having really casual conversations about injectables they need to get because all the influencers also have them, so it's harmless, right? And our cities have stores that you can walk in and get injectables, and you can get baby Botox when you're 20 on your lunch break.
Yeah.
Like, everything is just so weird and dystopian.
Yeah.
And it's not normal, and we need to talk about it.
Yeah. And at the jump, no, hey, if this is you, this isn't like us saying that what you're doing is wrong, but also don't project your feelings about this onto us. Because, I remember sending to you, Abby, the video of like the
frown
people
challenge.
trying to frown.
I could not believe it.
It just freaked me out. It was just like, first of all, I mean, this isn't even the main point about this, but we don't know, like, women already have their lives, are hard. We are scared of violence. We're scared to walk down the streets in case we're snatched.
Yep.
Like, there's so many real threats that I do think that injecting stuff into our face that we don't know what's in it is like it's just a thing we don't need to be doing when we already have so many like real life threats.
Yeah.
The next thing is just like, I'm always thinking, who is this for? We didn't wake up, at 5 years old and know about Botox. Like, who is this for? You grow up and then you think it's for you, but then if you dive a bit deeper into it, it's like, well, if no one had told you that people looked better without wrinkles, you wouldn't do it. So is it really for you? There's just so much. And like something that Liv and I said on a podcast 4 years ago maybe was that because we're not, luckily for us, we're not like in circles where lots of people are getting injectables and it's not that normalized in our day-to-day life. Like, I have a family of boys, they would very much be like, Luce, you don't need any of that. Why would you do that?
There's no pressure from our inner circles.
And Liv and I said we feel like we're going to be aging in defiance. And ever since we said that,
it's stuck in your brain.
I cannot unthink like of the phrase, we're going to be aging in defiance. We're going to be, living in our normal bodies without GLP-1s in defiance. We're going to be outfit repeating in defiance. Like, I just feel like growing up as yourself, and I don't know why there's something that I don't want to use the word naturally, but growing up just and being what you're meant to look like, who you're meant to be, feels like an act of defiance when it should be the norm.
Yeah, it is. And it's just the past couple of years where making changes to your face and your body is so normalized.
Yeah.
And it's actually like an outward pressure now for young people to then also like keep up with the trends that are happening. And it's dangerous.
Well, it's really dangerous, and it's also, I feel like we're jumping around so much, but I think at the jump we have to get all of these thoughts out so then we can dive deeper into them. And a lot of this I'm actually writing about in my essays, which is why it's top of mind. But I was thinking about how grateful I was. Like when I was young and I had issues with how I looked and my body, I would like turn the mirrors in my room around to face the wall. And I have, now that I'm 28 and social media exists and all that, I weirdly feel grateful that was all I had to do.
Yeah.
To not think about myself so much.
True.
Whereas now it's like back then there was no like, oh, well, I'll just get surgery. If I had started fixating on surgeries or Botox or whatever at that age, I would have had it all done by now probably. Like, with young people getting into their jobs, getting their paychecks and then it going towards Botox and things like that. So first I feel grateful that all I had to do was turn the mirrors around. That's still not good, and that was still social media informed for sure. But then the next thing is, imagine how much further forward women could be if we weren't told that we had to spend all this money on this, so we'd have more savings.
Exactly.
Imagine how much further forward women would be if we weren't, like, all our brain space wasn't being taken up by this. Even like us sitting here having to think about why we don't want it. Like that shouldn't even be a thing that we have to think about. And then like again, I know I'm saying women a lot because the pressure is largely on women. Like I know that people could say, well, there's looks maxing and things now. Boys are finally starting to feel this. Sorry, women have been dealing with this since the beginning of time. Something that's come up in the last 6 months that makes men feel bad about themselves and need to get like that's just not on par.
No.
That's not a comparison. So this is going to be talking about how, because women are the victims of this whole complex of needing to look younger, needing to look beautiful.
And a whole industry that is the predator of this.
Yes.
And just takes all our money.
Yeah. Takes all our money and then 6 months later
energy,
takes it again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we were actually, Abby, having this conversation. It was probably from a TikTok we saw, and it was like, I'm looking at my partner and I'm thinking, where does all your money go? Because like girls are like spending on so much shit.
I always think like when I have run out of my products, like I've run out of thread at a time and I have to go to Chemist Warehouse and try to find the cheapest like alternatives, blah, blah, blah. But I'm still spending so much money every month or every few months or whatever on these random products.
Yes.
Like for what?
Yes.
And then Geordie's got like one deodorant.
Yeah. I know. And so, and then when men have more money to invest into their businesses, they get ahead or invest into like, I don't know, going out and having a better social life. Like then, so all these other aspects of their life can go up, up, up while ours are being held down because the baseline is like, I need moisturizer, cleanser, this, blah, 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 blah.
There is also like an angle of, especially with older women, they need to look a certain way to be seen as professional and like able to do the job because
black women.
Yes. Like there is so much discrimination. So it's like some people it's like an economic safety blanket to keep up with aging and beauty. Oh, it's just like so exhausting.
Yes. So, to even think about. And like even while we've been writing these, like Abby and I had a really good conversation with each other the other day. And it was like, we are not immune to this. Like we do things like I tint my eyebrows at home. Yeah. Abby does things to her hair so it isn't frizzy and piss her off. Like there are things that we of course do.
And I spend so much time doing it.
Yes. And it's kind of things that Abby and I, even with each other, we feel like we have to hide.
Yes, I feel embarrassed.
Because we're like, why is us doing this so embarrassing? And it's because like you feel like you can't be one or the other.
No.
But you can. I don't know. It's really good to sort of investigate yourself.
Yes.
And be like, Well, I buy into this too. And why do I buy into this too? Because I've been told my whole life that, when you get to this age, you need to start using retinoids. And you get to this age, you need to start. It's like, I want to move the blame off of us.
Yes.
But then also I want to take a little bit of responsibility that, like, when we're recording this, I'm wearing makeup.
Yeah.
Like, my hair, well, to be fair, I'm lucky I don't have to do shit to my hair. Abby straightened her hair.
Yeah.
Like, what? So we're not immune to it, but I think I try in my everyday life to at least investigate it and push back. There's been I sent Abby an article of the Gen Z glow down. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's like a big trend. I think it's just a observation of this journalist. But I think I take part in that. It's like young women are realizing that going and getting their hair done for $400 a pop, like for blonde and stuff, in this economy is not viable.
No, and it's not fair, and it's for male gaze most of the time.
Yeah, and so a lot of Gen Z, because they can't afford it, are moving back to natural, purely because of the economy, which is really interesting. And then there's also, like, I know on TikTok and stuff, huge move from when we were late teenagers of high-end products being what you want to buy to now drugstore.
Yes, like that's so
which
true.
is a really good move.
Yeah.
And like, again, we're still feeling like we have to buy all these things and do all these things. But if you're going to, which we are because the world is what the world is like, this move towards cheaper alternatives, I don't know, it's like kind of good.
Yeah.
But it also is like shit because it just means like the economy's fucked. We can't afford doing anything, even if it's like how women, a lot of women like go to the hair salon, look after themselves and like enjoy doing that. Anyway, so we've basically laid out for you every thesis just then that we wanted to talk about because I think we were just like bursting at the seams with it.
Yes, and we do talk about this in our spare time.
Oh,
like
my
me and Liz
God.
are always talking about this because it's
Like, I didn't think I cared about beauty and wellness and things like that. And then it's so much. But then
it's so ingrained in us.
Yes, it's our everyday life.
It's very forced on us. It's very expected of us to look a certain way, even the bare min.
Yes.
There is like so much time and money wasted into that.
And every time I spend 10 days down at the lakes, just like place in the middle of nowhere, bogan, camping, and every time I come back and I was like, none of those people have probably even heard of Botox.
Yeah.
None of them like hear that their hair gets greasy when they're camping. Like it's like a reset that I do every year. And it just like takes me back to like these people are so much happier because they're not looking at themselves that much. And these ideals it's a shame that you have to go to rural spots to find, they have other hardships in their lives that are totally different, but to find people that are so happy just without having to spend hundreds of dollars and inject things that we're not sure into their face, into their bodies. And so, yeah, I feel like the overarching thing is like in a world where it's so easy to buy beauty or be beautiful, being a little bit like normal or ugly is defiant.
Which is just
it's
so
radical.
fucked up. I was looking at when digital retouching was made like available, and it was 10 years ago, but like how much has changed in those 10 years where
So
like,
is that like Photoshop at the start?
Photoshop has been around for ages, but that was like for industry people, photographers, designers, where Facetune launched in 2013 and then Snapchat filters launched in 2015. So this was like mine and Lucy's peak teenage years. And so it was like making your face different on a filter. And at the time it was just like this fun, harmless thing. But now in only 10 years' time, it's changed from that to like, oh, we'll do it in real life now. We'll put a filter on in real life basically and go get work done.
And it's like, spoiler, it was never fun and harmless. Like, James Charles.
I wrote this.
I told Evie this the other day. I was reading a book and they mentioned this. I was like, holy fuck, throwback. James Charles, villain, did a YouTube video or series of videos where he got his fans to send him in photos of them and what they would like face tuned. And he face tuned them on like camera, and
Yeah.
no one was pushing back. It was like, oh my God, this is so nice and so like
you've made me confident again.
And it's like it's made you confident in a fake thing.
Fucked up.
And then what you see, and I talk about this all the time because I think this is like my overarching thesis of the world. It's like I really worry when we either change our looks, change our personality, change what we do, how we act, so that it is really good for online and not good in real life.
Yeah.
So like seeing those changes on Facetune and then going and looking in the mirror and being like, oh, I don't look as good in real life as I did on Facetune, and then having to go and feel like you have to go and get all this work done so you can look better on the internet is like very scary to me and something that I like can't ever shake. And I always use the like, if you're in a public spot and you're filming a TikTok and you're getting in the way of pedestrians walking past, that is the internet interrupting real life. Like that is my analogy of the internet actually like getting in the way. You're doing that for online and interrupting people living their real lives. And I think that's what beauty has done. Beauty has interrupted our real aging process, our real like entire lives.
Yes.
So the filters definitely like, well, it was funny because it was like Facetune and then Snapchat, like the dog filter mostly. Yeah. And people didn't like it because it was a dog. They liked it because it smoothed their skin and it slimmed your face down.
And it made your nose skinnier or whatever.
And then that then turned into all these AR TikTok like, well, we're just going to actually slap the beauty filter on immediately.
Yeah.
And it's just this whole like beauty psychosis of like, you don't look like that in real life.
No.
And then you hate yourself in real life because you love how you looked on TikTok.
Yes.
Scary.
And now everything's on social media, like so many people's jobs.
Yes.
And everything. So we're more in this world now where these fake things are.
Yes.
It is a psychosis. Like, it's freaky.
It is freaky. And like getting work done, this is like to the extremes, but getting work done, you know how there was a whole like Instagram face and like there's fox eye and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Things that look really good in a selfie, but kind of look a bit uncanny valley in real life.
Yes.
That is a psychosis.
Yes.
So I think, like this is going to be in the essay, but like the filters to fillers pipeline is I think there has been lots of research done on it. I just don't think it's reaching the right people, which is often the case with these.
Yeah. And there's nothing being put in place to regulate it, stop it from happening or like make it not so fucking weird.
Oh, so accessible. It shouldn't be
so accessible.
It shouldn't be so accessible. Like how you were saying, you could go on your lunch break and get Botox.
Yes, and then baby Botox being a thing for 20-year-olds, like preventative Botox for people that are babies.
Yeah, like, that don't have a single fine line.
There should be regulations for that. That is so cooked.
And sort of on the same, as we've been talking about, like this sort of editing ourselves online and then in real life and going into this kind of psychosis where you look like that online but you don't really look like that actually. Age psychosis, I think, is a big thing.
Yes.
And this is best described through one Kris Jenner, which is, and actually like Kris Jenner, Lindsay Lohan, like all these people that are getting these.
Emma Stone, Jim Carrey even.
These like magical facelifts.
Yes.
But there's something very interesting and like very, again, uncanny valley scary where they look like they are 40 or 30. But their insides are still their age, like 70. And so when you look one way but your body is like achy and you're getting sick and you're aging in your body, there must be a type of warped living that comes with that where it's like you look like your daughter Kim Kardashian but your body is 70.
That is weird.
So it's not, your face isn't matching your insides. No. And I would feel a level of, and I think we will see more of this, and we're calling it age psychosis of like, you look one way, but you are another. And the only telling point is your hands. It's just,
it is freaky. And I remember her saying a few weeks after she got or months after she got that major facelift, sources were saying that it had dropped a bit and she wasn't happy. So it's like, okay, so you're going to do that again till the day you die, like another facelift to be more. But it's obviously your body is like aging
Yes.
and drooping and gravity, blah, blah, blah. It can't hold a facelift. Stop. Like, leave your body alone.
That's so actually a good point. Like the maintenance, it's like they're treating it like getting your hair done.
Yes.
Like, oh, I need to do that once every few months. You're going for a major surgery
Yes.
on like your face.
Yes. And people do have the argument of cosmetic procedures are no different to putting on makeup, but I think that's so different. Like
It's different because
so
if you don't like the way your makeup looks, you can take it off.
and you take it off at the end of the day and you're still
Still yourself.
yourself, and we go through like phases of not wearing as much for whatever reason. Like I wear half as much as I did, blah, blah, blah. But with cosmetic procedures, it's like a whole level of you're actually editing your face and what you look like and how your loved ones view you. Like it is got to be fucking with people's heads.
Yes.
But we're not seeing any like info about it yet because it's only been 10 years since Facetune started. But I reckon like we'll be seeing some mental health problems coming from the like uncanniness.
Yes. And also the like disclosures of it all. Like online, I have seen more influencers now be like, I got all this. You think I'm natural? No. To look this natural, I got all this work done.
Yes.
And it like, yes, it is good to disclose that, but it's also showing people that like you can get all this work done and look natural.
Yes.
But there's no one that's kind of just been, well, actually there are a few like Kate Hudson and some of those celebrities that are, and Billie Eilish even, you know, pushing back against it and saying like, I would like to age.
Yeah.
And actually be natural. But they're the real minority.
Yes.
Which is fascinating and scary. I don't think getting a procedure is like putting on makeup, because to put on makeup, you don't need to go and have consultations. It's like a procedure is a surgery or is an injectable.
Or even,
And it's like no one is
things.
willing to go and get a blood test for fun.
Yeah.
And we don't treat that like going to get, I don't even know the point I'm really trying to make here, but it is a foreign thing being put in our bodies. And again, I really don't want it to come across like we're judging people that do, but I do want them, I think, to look at the wider, like, what this does to the young woman in your life or why you feel like you need to do that. Because when you say that it's for you, it's not really for you, because you're not meant to be looking at yourself 24/7. Like we're meant to look at ourselves in reflections in the water, like, and then mirrors were invented and then blah, blah, and then photographs. And it's like we were never meant to be staring at ourselves this much. So it's for the other people looking at you.
Yes.
And often that person is a man. You know that TikTok sound? It's like, and I was wondering, and then I realized it's a man. Like scary. Yes, you do. You see them to me all the time.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
There's a man
Yeah.
in back of this place.
And Abby sends them to me because she has this thing where, and I don't have this, but I think a lot of women do. You wonder why you're doing certain things, and you realize you're always performing for a a man that's not even there. Like you're,
I'm looking at myself as a man. Like I'm not looking
through
myself
the gaze of a man
as myself. Yeah,
and that's the male gaze.
It freaks me out
because we've had that since we were so young.
Yeah.
And
we are always being stared at. So it's like, and so then the back of my head is like, well, I have to look like. It's almost like a safety feature of like I need to look a certain way so I'm respected and like won't be like hurt or whatever by a man. So I have to look and act a certain way. That is so fucked up, because then I'm like, everything I do in my little beauty routines that I think is so harmless and like blah, blah, I'm actually performing.
Yeah.
Because if I was going on a girls' trip for a week and there'd be no men around, don't catch me doing any of that shit. So it freaks me out that like my everyday tiny little things I do, I'm performing to like feel safe or whatever at the back of my head.
And so many women, like those videos come across my feed all the time, because it is like almost a universal feeling of like we're performing for the male gaze because since we were born, we grew up with pop culture and it's like then technology like this. And so we kind of always have been. So when we think that we're doing things for us, if you look like one layer deeper, it's like we're not really.
Yes.
We're either doing it for a man or a job or to be perceived in a way that we have seen as successful or even a way that we have seen as beautiful.
Yeah. Another huge part of the beauty industry that freaks me out and is like, I just hate it. Teen Vogue did a really good write-up about white supremacy running the beauty industry because everything is intertwined. So Teen Vogue wrote, beauty standards are tools of oppression that enforce sexism, racism, colorism, classism, ableism, ageism, and gender norms. And appropriation is a huge part of that and a huge price of beauty because there's double standards of beauty treatments that actually just appropriate off other cultures that are discriminated for these same features.
Exactly.
So like the fox eye facelift is like eye shapes from East and Southeast Asia.
Yes.
And I've seen like Australian white girls get full on, they're like so in their early 20s getting these full fox eye.
Yeah.
Full facelifts just to get like the almond-shaped eye. That is just so that is weird.
Well, that those people that actually are born with those eyes face racism for it. And then when it comes into trend, white women particularly are like, oh, that's actually beautiful. Oh, I've seen some models I've seen Bella Hadid get that done. Let me go.
And then they reframe it or rename it, get snatched. Like, this is the snatch look. Like, no, that's a person of colour's normal facial feature.
You've decided is now in trend.
Yeah, but that when they have it on their face, like a person of colour, they get racially discriminated against. They get racial slurs thrown at them because of these features. But then like a white woman like pays 20 grand to get it done to her face and suddenly she's like the most beautiful snatched woman and she wants to like sell this to other girls.
Yes.
It's brainwash. It's so fucking weird.
And because I feel like 10 years ago the world was coming to terms, perhaps maybe even 5 years ago, to this with hair and black women's hair and how, say like a white woman wanted to get dreadlocks or whatever and she went and did that and went to her job and people maybe thought, that's weird, blah, blah. But then Zendaya goes onto a red carpet with dreadlocks and that woman on TV was like, she looks like she stinks of weed.
Yes.
She's a black person.
Yes.
Or they could go to their jobs and be, you don't look professional enough.
Exactly.
No. But it's like, okay, so that was with hair. Hair is political. We know this. But now people are changing. Hair you can change.
Yes.
Like for a white person doesn't need to do that to their hair.
Yeah.
The fox eye trend. Or remember the extreme self-tanning?
Yes.
Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Even that was like, that's probably the most blatant.
That was
like,
huge,
hey,
like early 2010s.
Yes.
2015. Like,
yeah.
be as tan as possible, but not too dark.
Yes.
Not too dark.
Yeah, like the perfect golden tan.
That is fucking weird.
And it literally like the most explicit forms of racism are about people's skin colours.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I feel like we don't even really have to explain why this is all a problem. And then I was actually saying to Abby that you can track beauty trends through Ariana Grande.
Yes.
Because so Ariana Grande, Italian Grande, she was on Sam and Cat and Victorious, was it? Yeah. And she had red hair, like it was when like coloured hair was quirky and that was a beauty trend, whatever. But she still was herself, like Ariana, really cute. And then when she became a pop star, she sort of tanned herself up massively, took on this like persona where she was a real diva, real like R&B almost.
Yes.
Like her music, she was real on stage, she would move like Rihanna. So we had that era.
Yeah.
And then she really went into like the fox eye era, leaned really heavily and people I remember from Asian cultures are being like, she literally is cosplaying us.
Yeah, she started like making her eyes way more almond shaped with makeup and like high ponytails to lift her eyes up, wearing Japanese style clothing.
Yes.
Like it was such a 180.
Yeah.
And now she's gone back to
now she's gone almost
blonde, very like soft spoken and quiet and demure.
Yes.
Like, it is just
it is very interesting. And actually while we're talking about blonde here, let's talk about mega blonde.
Yeah, the politicism of beauty, like the conservative look.
The Sydney Sweeney look.
The Sydney, it's in now, and I it's fucking scary because politics, especially in America, are like dire.
Yes.
And so obviously everything trickles down, and so now we're being like told to look a certain way, and it just so happens to line up with the conservative woman, like the beauty of a right wing, like racist woman,
Aryan.
Yes,
yeah. And it's really interesting because like I think, it's so weird. Even I would be less inclined, maybe because I know too much about this, but to be blonde, like, first of all, my hair's half blonde because I cannot pay and sit for 4 hours and be bored. Like so many things. I'm kind of like the Gen Z glow down situation. I don't want to be blonde. I don't want to sit there. Don't want to pay. Better things to spend my time and money on. But also just like, you know, the Alex Earl blonde, the Sydney Sweeney blonde, it's all very like mega.
It is.
Which even if the internet has just made that so, like the internet is still part of the world. So
it's like, and then that everything influences everything. So it's like that subconsciously like siding with something, like whether you think you do or don't, you're like feeding into the like almost the propaganda machine of.
I mean, Sydney Sweeney like is.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And then also while we're talking about sort of discrimination and people either looking a certain way or changing themselves to be with the trends, there is a whole nother sort of facet of that we won't really go into, but it's actually like when these new trends, like for example Ozempic, come along and everyone wants to be skinny, and then the people that actually need this medication, like diabetic people, can't access it because the Western women have decided that
they need it to look hot, like or whatever.
Yeah. And I'm sure this is not the only thing that has seen scarcity because of, you know, a trend coming along. But I do think, like, we haven't really touched on Ozempic that much in this episode because it's a whole nother kettle of fish. But I do think the sort of discrimination against people that actually need these medications is something to note as well. Well, Abby was just asking how we wrap this up because there's no solution. But I do think, like, well, the world goes in trends. My hope, so right now we're in the like injectables and Ozempic trend. I am hoping that because this creates like a class of people that can afford this and they all look one way, I'm hoping that a new beauty standard of people looking like normal, like us, emerges, and that's like the norm. So for the celebrities with money, blah, 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 they can all go and look the exact same. But yeah, if there is a solution, it's just to like investigate why you do things, continue doing them if they feel good to you and you feel like you are doing them for yourself, or they make you more confident for yourself, not for the people perceiving you. I think, just being really cognizant of who this is all for, where we're spending our time, where we're spending our money, who gets ahead when we waste our time and money on things like this.
Yes, exactly.
And who we're appropriating this all from, you know, whether we're changing our looks to look like someone who has been literally discriminated against for looking that way. But mostly just like being a little bit like, when you can buy all this shit, looking like yourself is actually radical, and I think the best thing you can do. Everyone's going to look the same. You are like our beauty is our uniqueness. And I think somehow in the last 5 years, that message has gotten totally lost.
Yes.
No one wants to look unique anymore.
And people want to frame it as like a woman's like freedom and empowerment is with doing whatever you want. But at the end of the day, who is it for? There's a whole bigger picture. And arguably the Western world, like women have more freedom than we ever have, but we're spending more and more time thinking about what we look like. That doesn't fucking matter. Like there's women in other countries that have literally no freedom. Yeah. And we're wasting ours on this shit, like being skinny and looking like a different culture. Like
this is not what the feminists that marched wanted us to do with our freedom.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like at the end of the day, it's kind of embarrassing. Like
that we're doing this.
Actually, there's a good quote from Hayley Naaman who wrote a Substack called The Beauty Botox Psyop, which is really good. Yeah. And she said, when we overemphasize the morality of individual choices and insist that critics be quiet to protect feelings, we miss an opportunity to denounce a predatory industry, which is like the perfect way to put it.
The biggest industry in the whole goddamn world.
That makes so much money from
off
us.
Of women. Yeah. But I really love ending on that point of like, we got all this freedom.
Yeah.
And what are we doing with it?
Yeah, again, just like catering to men at the end of the day that are busy building empires above us like they always have.
Empires that will then oppress us.
Yeah.
And we should leave that mic drop. Anyway, if you want to comment on this or read deeper or think deeper, as I said, there is a whole series going up on Substack on the Shit You Should Care About newsletter all about this. Not sure if it's out right now, but if it is, it'll be in the show notes. If not, you can search it. And we will see you for our next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.